usual in every organization where its leader passes away. But you realize by the time we go to elections, all of us will be one and fight one common enemy, who is ZANU-PF, who wants to monopolize our politics. We know they are also sponsoring and infiltrating the organization. They don't want to see peace. And I know some of the people who acted the way they acted in Buhera were members of the Central Intelligence Organization. Some of them who traveled as far as from Wange, who simply came wearing MDC t-shirts to come and cause chaos, confusion, and pandemonium at the
You
funeral.
mentioned this earlier, Mr. Sikala, saying that we should not believe the sensationalized media that has
But that is
reported
correct,
this. And now you're coming back to the same point and saying that you basically saying that the commotion was caused by CIO intelligence.
That's correct.
It had nothing to do with the MDC.
One of the CIA
I'm unable to comment on that.
How do you validate that, Mr.
Without proper
Sikala?
evidence, I think it would
I'm also concerned. I mean, I think if that is what you've addressed,
one of the
how
CIA
do you-
was traveled as far as from Wange.
how did you validate that? How do we know that as a fact?
I was shown a CIO who came from Wange wearing an MDC t-shirt, came at the funeral masquerading as one of the mourners whose agenda we know was to cast confusion and pandemonium at the funeral. It's a fact.
I will say,
Mr. Coulter, as a lawyer, how do we take this kind of claim and make it factual?
Well, what I was going to say is I can't comment on the factualness of this
claim.
But what I will say is that it is true that it has been a systematic tactic of this regime for decades to infiltrate into opposition parties and use, what are called agents provocateurs, where you instigate violence within. I think a lot of the violence that happened even in 2005 and 2014 within the MDC, a lot of that, was instigated by infiltrators. So I don't know about the factual points, and I think Mr. Gutu's point earlier about the importance of this investigation really being allowed to run its full course is important. I just wanted to comment that it is true that this is a tactic of this regime. And
so you're convinced that this violence was orchestrated by ZANU-PF?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And I think there are certainly problems of violence within MDC which need to be dealt with.
addressed. Okay.
So
All
very
I'm
much,
saying
Doug. I
is-
think Doug has been very
Gutu.
honest. Because to be honest, everybody, let's face it. Let's bite the bullet and agree that among some of us, we've got elements who propagate violence. I personally have been a victim of threats. I obviously have not made an issue out of it, like going to the police. I have received phone calls. I have received threats of death on my WhatsApp from people whom I know, youths whom I know, whom I can identify, whom I can name by name. But I've just told them, look, you come near me.
Youths from which party, sir?
My own party.
Okay.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, these are things that we should face. At one time, I just said to one of the youths, look, you come near me, consider yourself a dead man walking. Because I'm a lawyer, there's the defense of self-defense. I have a right even to take you out before you take me out. Because, I mean, the law does, give me the permission to do that. So I think he backed off. All I'm saying is, we have to bite the bullet and agree that we have malcontents amongst us. I think the moment that we don't accept that, then we're not being entirely honest with ourselves.
Right. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you. These were supposed to be post-interview thoughts, not a whole entire interview.